The name of this event was changed from Lost in the Book with Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, the first Halloween, to a storybook adventure, Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, Twisted Thrills vs. Classic Chills. Skully saying Now Then, Are You Familiar with Halloween, was changed to, Is Halloween a holiday you celebrate? Halloween is Nightmares was changed to, Halloween is a nightmare of our own creation. Over the course of this night, I shall teach you, was changed to, I could spend all eve just setting the scene. This is Halloween, this is truly Halloween, yes, this is, was changed to, for the special holiday we call. In the original game Idia is in the manga section of the book fair, while on EN he is in the comics section. In both versions he is looking for specific manga, with manga not being localized in one line. Leona saying, even someone as meek as myself wants to step out into the sunlight once in a while, was changed to, sometimes even indoor cats like me feel like going out in the sun. If you thought it was odd for Leona to be referring to himself as an indoor cat, you are correct, he didn't. Malleus saying, maybe you should be laid out in the sun to dry, along with your books, was changed to, perhaps some time in the sun with a book would do you good. If you thought it was odd for Leona to suddenly be talking about Malleus needing to dry out, this is why. In his original line Malleus is first to suggest that Leona needs to be dried out, removed from EN. Idia comments on not being able to trust Skully because of his use of a strange personal pronoun. Azul counters by pointing out that the pronoun that Idia uses a lot of the time is equally odd. This was changed on EN to Skully talking flowery and Azul countering with Idia's cryptic net slang. Jamil originally tells Leona, please reflect on your actions, changed on EN to, I bet you didn't even realize you grabbed onto me. The characters consistently refer to Jack as Bones throughout the story, changed to Skeleton on EN. There is one scene where Sebek actually does refer to Jack as a skeleton, changed to Bones on EN. Skully saying, everyone, please refer to this person as Jack Sama, was changed to, he has a name, call him Mr. Skellington. In the original game Skully repeatedly explains that he is from a village, a word that was changed to town and burg on EN in all but one place where village was retained. Jade observing that Jack walks quickly because of his long legs was changed on EN to Jack having a long stride, in what is at least the 7th instance of a character commenting on long legs being removed from EN, also seen in vignettes, Playful Land, the main story, and Tapis Rouge. In the original game Skully uses the same honorific with Sally that he does with Jack, referring to her as Sally Sama. On EN this was changed to Skully saying Miss Sally. While there is a character who says Miss Sally in the original game, it is not Skully, it is Riddle. Riddle refers to Jack as Sir Skellington in the original game, changed to Sir Jack for EN. Leona saying, my lady, I truly respect the formidable person you are, was changed to trust me, I hold such gallant ladies in the highest esteem. Leona does not technically say, my lady, but he is using the word lady in the respectful, noble sense of lord and lady, not in the casual sense of hey lady. In this scene Leona shifts from his usual crude, casual language into formal, respectful speech, that he sometimes slides in and out of as a part of his speech patterns. He is also addressing Sally specifically, even saying you, and is not referencing gallant ladies in general as is implied by the English translation. Originally Dr. Finkelstein says who will take home the coveted Completely Drained of Blood award this year, changed to the Most Cold-Blooded Prank of the Year award on EN. This line in the original game came directly from the Japanese language translation of Nightmare Before Christmas where the mayor gives an award for most blood drained in a single evening. Originally Dr. Finkelstein then follows with, who will earn the Remarkably Persistent Sucking Kissing award, which was changed to What About the Frightening and Honorable Mentions on EN. The original line uses Chu-Chu, which can be an onomatopoeia for kissing as well as sucking, like mosquitoes sucking blood. There is a fandom joke that both awards could have been won by Skully for his pale face being drained of blood and for his hand-kissing habit. During a conversation between Riddle and Trey about eating Salisbury steak every day, Ian Riddle reminds him that eating hamburgers on Tuesdays is against the rules. Ian Trey had the line, and aren't you being a little liberal with what constitutes a hamburger, added to his dialogue, because the actual rule is not about hamburgers at all, it is and has always been about Salisbury steaks, localized to hamburger on EN. It is interesting that instead of having Trey say that he enjoys hamburgers they decided to keep Salisbury steak for him, change it to hamburger for Riddle, and then connect the two words that are actually the same word in the original story with an added line about Riddle being too particular about what does and does not constitute a hamburger. This may have been to preserve the fact that Trey isn't saying he likes hamburgers, he is saying he likes Salisbury steaks, so localizing the food in this context would go against his character, and we have seen this happen on EN before. In the EN version of Cloud calling Lilia says that elephant ears are one of his favorite foods, but that is something that he has canonically never said. Jamil says that Colin will ask him to cook simple things that are actually difficult to prepare, using minced meat cutlets as an example. On EN this was changed to croquettes. The last time minced meat cutlets appeared on EN, they were changed to ham and cheese. The original incantation for Skully's unique magic is, light a fire in a lantern. The name of the spell is originally Scary Night, with the hidden meaning of October 31st. On EN it was written as just Scary Night, with his incantation changed to, let the lantern be lit. It is interesting that Skully's incantation was changed from a command to a more passive phrase, which is the opposite of what we saw with Trey's incantation, which was changed from a more passive phrase to a command, both in the game and English language novelization. Trey saying that he never sees Idia at the bread vendor at school was changed to school vendor on EN, but in the original game this is possibly a reference to the bakery that visits NRC once a month, first seen in Book 2. Sebek originally says, if this Halloween isn't a success, then Malleus-sama will have no way of returning to Twisted Wonderland, changed on EN2, if this Halloween isn't a success we will have no way of returning Malleus to Twisted Wonderland. Vil saying our Epel has gotten in the mood and become restless, was changed to, little Epel here has taken quite a shine to you. In this context the word Vil uses can mean either my or our. It is a word you use to refer to people in your own group, like in your family, company, school club, dorm, etc. Later in the game Leona also uses it, in reference to Sebek. Because this word does not really exist in English the localizers had to go in a different direction to portray the same feeling, and chose little Epel. If you thought it was odd that Vil calls Epel little without Epel reacting, you are correct, that is not what Vil actually said. On EN server it seems that some characters are allowed to use the word master, while some are not. Jamil is allowed to use it as a part of his unique magic's incantation, but his usual follow-up line of, who is your master, was changed to, who do you obey, on EN for the Nightmare Before Christmas event. Jamil is not allowed to use the word master in reference to Colin, in which case EN will remove it, rewrite it to employer or boss or, in one infamous occasion, change it to hello. Jamil was also not allowed to refer to himself as master for the day on his birthday. The EN game will also change responses to the application of Jamil's unique magic depending upon who his target is. Characters who are allowed to refer to Jamil as master on EN are Azul, a Stux employee, the students of Noble Bell College, Scarabia students, and a dream version of Column in Book 7. Characters who are not allowed to refer to Jamil as master on EN are Locke, Shock, Beryl, and Nage. Azul had master removed from his dialogue when referring to himself as the master of the contract-breaking students in Book 3. Sebek was originally allowed to refer to Malleus as his master in early vignettes, even using it to refer to Column's relationship to Jamil, but in a more recent example Silver referring to Malleus as their master was changed to employer. In a scene during Halloween where Lilia is scaring Magicam monsters out of Ramshackle all dialogue calling Malleus his master had the word removed. In the original game Sebek is surprised by Shock referring to Jamil as Jamil-sama, changed to Sebek reacting to the word orders on EN. As is common for EN, the word friend was added to dialogue multiple times where it was never actually said. Jamil referring to the residents of Halloween Town as Jack's friends, Jack referring to the students as Skully's friends, Jack referring to the students as his friends, Beryl calling Leona his friend, Shock calling Skully their pal, Leona commenting on Jamil and Zero being friends and Locke commenting on people sitting around being pals never happened in the original game. There are only 2 instances during the event where the word friend actually does appear, both times in reference to Zero. If you thought it was odd for Jade, Vil, and Jack to all be talking to Jamil simultaneously, you are correct. This conversation begins with Jade and Vil talking to each other about Jamil, which was localized accurately for EN. As they continue, however, their pronouns change from him to saying you on EN, as though they are addressing Jamil directly while he ignores them. In the original dialogue they are still discussing Jamil separately, as he is having a conversation with Jack. It is possible that EN's translators maybe did not have the visuals for this scene and did not realize that Jade and Vil are talking about Jamil from a slight distance, not talking to him directly. If you also thought it was odd for Jamil to suddenly refer to children as brats, you are again correct. EN took the original name for Locke, Shock and Beryl of Bad Brat Trio, and localized it as Prankster Trio, which is a perfectly fine adaptation. But they did not keep to their own localization in Jamil's line of dialogue where he talks about the prankster trio and witches, translating it directly as brats, as though Jamil is suddenly revealing his distaste for children in general when he was actually referring to the three of the prankster trio, but then interrupted himself in order to speak more politely as he was in conversation with Jack. If you also thought it was odd for a student to say that Night Raven College's Halloween was both disappointing and exciting, you are again correct. It is possible that En originally wanted to say a line similar to, never fails to excite, but then decided to change it to, never disappoints, and combined them into, never fails to disappoint, in a conflicting line of dialogue that is inaccurate to the original line where the student actually is complimenting the school's Halloween. Another change to En was the replacement of the music released on the original server with an original track by Twist composer Ozawa Takumi, which is also now available in the archive of the original game.